look at the level, look at the importance of project management at both the organizational perspective and the personal perspective. And of course, why not economies? We're looking at emerging economies and the need for project management. We know the industry today is full of so many Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
were you getting? You see, my mic was not very okay. Okay, you're getting me now. All right. So I said the PMI Institute has certified more than 1 million PMP professionals around the world. Now that is why we have to give attention to this particular certification. But we have up to more than 8 different certifications we'll discuss on their relevance today and their impact and the career trajectories of these particular certifications, and to see what it takes for you to obtain one or more or all of these certifications. And we understand the importance of project management, why projects are important, and why projects fail. I mean, why is it that the success rate of so many projects is so low in industry? We have to answer that from a professional standpoint. Okay, so looking forward to what we have to say, the Project Management Institute is ranked as the leading professional membership association that delivers value to millions of professionals around the world and champions advocacy, collaboration, education, and research. And founded in 1969, the PMI Institute so far has certified thousands of professionals and millions of professionals. It delivered its first PMP certification or credential in 1984. Okay, so the first person to, or the first credential, PMP, was offered in 1984. And the key is this: if somebody who's certified in 1984 PMP and somebody who's certified in 2020 PMP, are the two people having the same experience, the same knowledge, the same capacity or competence? Well, PMI has set up a professional growth plan for every practitioner in project management. And that is why getting certified is beyond just having that certification, but it's pointing you to a continuous growth curve in the industry. You keeping abreast with the latest trends, best practices, and all that is required. So there is what you call the PMP maintenance program, which your certification maintenance program set up by PMI. So once an individual gets certified, like this guy who certified in 1984, he is still as very current, especially in good standing, if he obtains in every 3 years, he obtains 60 PDUs, professional development units. This is quite important because unlike a degree, a normal degree, ordinary degree, where somebody earns a degree and he doesn't grow with that degree, after 10 years, you can't evaluate to know whether the person has grown or not. But the certifications are quite important because with your certification, you are constantly upgrading, constantly keeping abreast. All right, so that is why the individual that got certified in 1984 and the one in 2020 are almost having the same knowledge. The only difference would be experiences. All right, so let's push forward to see the overview and historical trends that surround the industry. First, from looking from antiquity perspective, we see project management is not a new science, it's not a new art, it's something that man has been involved in. But somehow, if we are looking after certifications, the concern is because we may have not been following a standard or seeing exactly whether our initiatives are yielding fruits. Most of the times you may plan a project and in delivering the project, you may discover that you fall short of the expectations. And so PMI has gathered all the best information in industry, developed that information along core practices that are common to all different professions, and then put that together in a unified body of knowledge called the PM book. And that's what we have as the Project Management Book of Knowledge. Today, currently, we have the 6th edition of the PM book, which comes in combination with Agile Practice Guide. And we'll talk about the Agile Practice Guide in a short while. All right, so project management has really evolved. It's beyond just a course that we used to have along with our degrees. Now you have hundreds of different certifications that are offered in project management. Why they are so important, we'll study some of the core certifications that are offered by PMI. Why is it that the PMI certifications are quite important? First of all, by looking at the value that the PMI certifications deliver. The first of it is that the PMI certifications define credibility. That means they provide an unbiased and reliable means to validate your domain knowledge and professional experience. All right, so PMI certifications are transferable. That means they are portable. They are not tied to a specific industry. They are not tied to a specific methodology. They are open and they are described as a standard for you to manage projects, a standard for you to manage programs, a standard for you to manage portfolio-related work and other kinds of work nature. So the concepts, competencies, skills, techniques that are employed as described by PMI don't limit you to any particular industry or geography. So that means they are worldwide. So if you have PMP certification, you can work in any industry. You can manage engineering projects, you can manage educational projects, scientific projects, you can manage all kinds of projects, right? So they offer you competitive advantage. Employment today is based on PMI certification. Most 9 out of 10 jobs that are advertised, the qualifications, you know, PMI certifications or the PMP standard as one of the highly considered factor in your resume. We've seen candidates who are earning millions just because of the PMP. We've seen candidates who just acquired project management education or training at our center, and they were issued just an attestation, and they got jobs with UN Food, UN, UNESCO, and so many others. All right, so looking further to the relevant commitment, PMI certifications emphasize your commitment to professional growth. That means when somebody acquires that certification, PMI entails that you should maintain the certification and grow experiences. And of course, by that you are reporting. Then we have relevance. These certifications demonstrate your relevance with as a practitioner, and it shows that you uphold rigorous standards based on ongoing research, and always your experiences and competencies reflect current industry practice. If we would point to the different certifications and their relevance, first we'll start with listing some of the key certifications that make real impact in the PMI stream of certifications. Number one, we have the Certified Associate in Project Management. Number two, we have the PMP certification. Number three, we have the Program Management Professional certification. We have Portfolio Management. We have Agile Certified Practitioner, Risk Management Professional, Scheduling Professional, and Professional in Business Analysis. All right, so let's point to the key relevance of each of them and to see exactly the career strengths that each of them bring. Number one, for the Certified Associate in Project Management, it validates the understanding of project management fundamentals, terminology, and processes. And this means you know what project management is all about. You know the standard for managing a project, but somehow this certification does not entail that you should have been a practitioner or a professional or an experienced leader. But it just tells you that you should know that you know project management, and anybody can acquire this. And when you have CAPM, it means you are on the way to being a perfect team player. That means a project staff or a project assistant or a team member of some type. This is good for those with A level, aiming to university, those at university, and those even after university. And CAPM is also good for those who are managing operations related work, particularly work that is not directly a project, okay? So, but you are involved on certain type of projects, like maybe marketing operations, finance operations, and all of that. Quite important is a certification that even top people who are leading for 500 companies, they earn CAPM, and it suffices for them to be able to manage their work at that level. Next certification there is the PMP certification. The PMP certification validates the individual and management competencies on projects. That means it demonstrates your ability to lead project teams, apply organizational resources effectively, and be able to tailor methodologies that would enable the project to attain its objectives. So with the PMP is more adapted to professionals or practitioners. If you would acquire PMP, it means you probably have been managing projects or you have at least 3 years of project experience. Without the 3 years of project experience, it would be better to go for the CAPM. So with the PMP certification, it's a mark of distinction that number one, you have 3 levels of competencies to demonstrate on your job or to your employer. One is that knowledge competence. Number 2 is performance competence. Number 3 is personal or behavior competence. Right. Knowledge competence says, what do you know? What does the individual know about project management? Okay. So the second is performance. Not only should you know, what can you achieve by applying your knowledge of project management? That's performance. And personal means, how does the individual behave when applying his knowledge on project management? Because you are working with teams and there will be conflict, there will be all kinds of things that will trigger certain emotional behaviors and all of that. So interpersonal skills, team skills, leadership skills, ethics, and professional conduct are expected of every professional. So the PMP validates all of these competencies and translates this competence or performance to what you call the PMI talent triangle. The talent triangle is a triangle of skills that describes your technical skills of project management, your leadership skills, your strategic and business management skills. Okay, so leadership skills are very important in project management because projects are about people. So there you're going to learn a lot of leadership capabilities, leadership styles versus management styles, and understand a lot of team dynamics in leading high-performing teams for producing impact results within the shortest span of time. Okay, so strategic and business management skills, they talk about your ability to understand organizational goals, mission, alignment of your project and program objectives to meeting those goals, and seeing exactly how your project fits into the strategic mix of projects and programs and portfolios within the organization. All right, so your technical skills of project management define your capability to tailor processes, tools, techniques, and methodologies that would enable the project go successfully throughout its life cycle from start to end. All right, so that is it. And if you are acquiring your PMP, it means it demonstrates a depth of professionalism. First of all, this certification is not an easy to get certification. Several people have tried to have PMP with just an academic approach. They have failed because PMP is not an academic degree. It is a professional degree. It is designed by practitioners and it is intended for practitioners. So it's practitioner based. The kind of questions that come for the exam, normally you have 200 questions, multiple choice. Okay, so 4 hours to validate this exam. The kind of questions that come are scenario based on practice concepts, practice decisions, project decisions. How if, I mean, you read a whole essay and you're able to make a decision. And that is quite important because once you have a practitioner mindset, then that is easy to approach the PMP. Several people take the PMP, maybe because of poor preparation and training. They get to write the PMP 3-4 times before they get it and they keep wasting money. So now we have the next certification on a stream, which is the program management professional. So the program management professional is the next certification. What is a program? A program is a group of related projects that are managed together as a group to attain benefits, which you can't attain those benefits except you manage those projects together as a group. So a program is made up of several projects that are related, and you manage them together to obtain benefits. So benefits realization, resource optimization, and managing risks and interdependencies amongst the different types of related projects is the goal of program management. And the program manager is a senior boss to the project manager. And the portfolio management or portfolio manager, this is another certification here, portfolio management professional. A portfolio is made up of several projects, programs, and operations managed together to achieve or attain strategic organizational objectives. All right, so an organization may launch 100 projects, and you see so many projects there. You have programs, you have sub-portfolios and components, and then operations tying the whole thing. So portfolio management is a senior boss to the project manager, and of course, is a boss to the operations manager. So if you are portfolio manager certified, then it validates your capacity to bridge the gap between strategy and implementation. So as a portfolio manager, you are concerned about strategy, concerned about defining the portfolio, aligning the portfolio components towards the organizational objectives, and setting up a governance structure that would bring all the projects and initiatives to a successful attainment of the goals of the organization. And then, of course, you'll be able to manage risk across a shared network of projects, programs, operations, and sub-portfolio components. All right, so that's a very big certification. I think it's not difficult to get. The qualifications are there with $800 for members and $1,000 for non-members. You can acquire that. For program management certification, program and portfolio, you definitely have to have a panel review your application directly from PMI. So it's something that you must demonstrate that you have managed a program or managed a project, and that is quite important. But these are very good certifications because all of these certifications, we have individuals. There are some individuals who earn all of them, 8 of these certifications. I know of Oliver, one guy from Spain, you know, and then there are some other guys who are attempting to have almost all of them. So having some of them or all of them is based on your objectives and what you want to use them for, and maybe the needs of your organization, and maybe the opportunities that you want to redact in your career. Okay, so the next certification there should be the risk management professional. Risk management professional is a certification that validates the ability of an individual to identify risks, assess the risks, and mitigate threats and capitalize on opportunities. The first thing that we need to notice is that PMI has given a very comprehensive approach to risk management that is far different from what other concepts of risk have taught us. We probably have heard that risk is just a negative event or outcome, that if it happens, the probability of it is that once it happens, then it may impact on one or more objectives, and therefore it probably will be negative. But risk is not only negative. PMI has defined that risk is also positive. It could be a positive event, which is an opportunity. So a negative event is a threat, but a positive event is an opportunity. And so professionals in risk management specialize not only on managing negative risks or threats, but they also make sure that they manage and enhance positive risks or opportunities so that the project can attain better objectives and realize better outcomes or returns on investment for its stakeholders. So this is a certification that enhances your project and the needs of your organization very highly. Why so? Because risk is very, very inherent and prevalent across all networks of the organization. We understand that risk is not just at the level of projects. Risk is also at the level of programs. It's at the level of operations, at the level of portfolios. Risk is also at the level of enterprise. So enterprise-wide risk management. So if somebody is certified in risk management, he is an all-round professional at a senior management position within an organization, working across with portfolio managers, all levels of managers down to the project manager. All right, so that's perfect. If you have that certification, of course, the basis of our insurance industry is all about risk. Insurance or banking, they all are managing risk, right? Are we together then? I want to hear my dear colleagues if you are getting me.
Very well, we're getting you.
Okay, perfect. So we know that what entails in the banking industry is what? Banking is all about three things. You're managing three things. What are they? Maybe some of us know banking very much, but I know banking is all about three things: capital, risk, and investment. And so risk is one of the key domains of management in banking. And that is what powers up our economy. So risk management is one of the sought after certifications. After individuals acquire PMP, they quickly begin to see much value lies with risk management. All right, so you can get that certification as well. We have the next certification there, which is PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. This validates your knowledge of Agile principles and your skills to implement Agile techniques like SCRUM, Kanban, Lean, Extreme Programming, Test-Driven Development, and so much. Okay, so SCRUM is one of the types of agile frameworks, okay, and approaches. Now, Agile is an umbrella name which stands for several methodologies or practices. Now, Agile is what? You hear the word agility or agile or adaptive. All of these point to a type of management structure which emphasizes fast change, okay, fast driven change. This actually began in the IT software engineering company where managing change and requirements was very, very critical. And meeting customer expectation is at the heart of this management principle with Agile. So Agile better meets customer expectations than the traditional project management approach. Okay, so when somebody gets certified in PMP, what PMI has seen is that your knowledge on Agile principles would also count so relevant. Yes, as a PMP certified professional. That's why they've combined the 6th edition of the PM book with the Agile guide, giving it a combo guide that can power up your career effectively. All right, so with Agile principles, you are going further to not only mastering the traditional project management approaches to innovative and emerging best practices as far as project management is concerned. So under SCRUM, you may have over SCRUM itself, okay? You have over 9 different certifications under SCRUM alone. And you could have Scrum Master, you could have Scrum Product Owner, you could have Scrum Skilled, and so many variations of certifications. And you have Lean, which deal with managing quality projects, and many other ways. All right, so this is a very good certification. You get it because it is what is highly sought after in industry, highly sought after. In fact, a whole lot of individuals in the US get Scrum certified and Agile certified even before PMP certified. But PMP actually is the foundation, okay? It's the foundation of all. Once you acquire your PMP, you can actually manage a whole lot of projects in different approaches. That's it. All right, so the next certification there you have is a PMI PBA, which is Professional in Business Analysis. This validates the ability to define project requirements and shape the project outputs and drive intended outcomes. This is a highly sought after certification, even the more. I'll tell you why, because a project is initiated or pre-initiated with business analysis skills. Okay, so your business analysis skills will enable you to design the project value, carry out feasibility, develop the business case, and be able to charter the project effectively into existence and uncover the requirements that will be required for you to manage the project effectively. Develop the value system and the value stream that that project has to deliver to its stakeholders. And of course, shape the benefits management structure that that project would deliver from start to end through its life cycle. So business analysts work in collaboration with project managers to be able to define requirements and shape the project benefits effectively to its stakeholders. So this is quite a big certification. It also, business analysts are also tasked with uncovering challenges and problems that you may find in projects or organizations or in business, and then preferring the right solutions to meet those projects. Okay, so they carry out case analysis. So business analysis is one of the highly coveted certification in this stream. The last but not the least should be the scheduling professional. Scheduling professional validates your ability to design project schedules and manage activities and resources, as well as dependencies, to deliver project outcomes on time. All right, so as scheduling professionals, you go beyond just managing or planning a project and knowing that the dates fixing the dates and all of that. No, you develop a schedule model. You are like a high professional consultant specialized on project delivery according to meeting project timelines and milestones. So professionals who schedule projects definitely use a lot of software tools. Some of them could be Microsoft project. You could use Primavera P6 Basic or Advanced, and many other industry certifications. So with this, you stand yourself out and I see a lot of scheduling professionals who earn even very higher in scale than the PMP certified professionals. Yes, because this is the schedule, most conflicts in projects arise as a result of scheduling. And we see that to meet competition, to meet with market demand and competition and all of that in industry, it is about the time to market release, that matters. And so scheduling is quite important. If Samsung announces that in December 2020, they'll be releasing a very high profile Samsung S series or whichever in the market, by December 20th, they want to release that. Do you know that date cannot be changed anyhow? By December 1st, they cannot come out and say, okay, sorry, we have encountered some challenges and somehow the launch of our S25 would be delayed by 1 month. That does not happen. Even 1 day, it doesn't happen in the professional world because people have developed businesses and markets behind that product. And some have taken serious engagements. So you cannot come out and say, okay, we will delay it. So the management and timely completion of a project is all in the hands of scheduling professionals. And that's why having such a certification would push you to the boundary, the edges of professionalism. That is it. Right, so if we would appreciate what we have shared through the different spectrum of certifications, we would cross over to looking at, well, I just told you about a standard. A standard is different from a methodology, okay? A methodology is tied to a specific discipline, and maybe a methodology could be like a system of practices or procedures that are used by a particular department or organization, okay? But a standard is open. A standard is developed based on the concepts of consensus, openness, due process, and balance. And that means they attain a worldwide recognition more than a methodology. This is so important because PMI certifications are not methodologies, okay? they offer you a standard, the standard for managing a project, the standard for managing a program, the standard for managing a portfolio. And what is the standard? The best way, a standard defines the best conventionally, globally accepted and tested and proven approach, which of course, from a standard, you can derive a methodology. You can tailor your own methodology, okay? So the standard is based on 49 processes, which if we give the full introduction to project management, you're going to see the whole framework of it. All right, so that is it. And there is a standard for organizational project management. There's a standard for portfolio, program, and project management. And then we have extensions to the standards which deal with government projects and construction projects specific to the industry. And then we have practice standards and frameworks that go with different specialized disciplines. And then we have practice guides. So at the end of this, the key is when we look at project management, what does this, what value does it offer? We are seeing today what we call the project economy. Every work in industry is completely digitalized and turned into projects. Okay, so that's why we have the word, the name, project economy, digital economy. These are the driving forces of change in industry. And once an individual gets certified in project management, you are you are ranking yourself with the top 10, among the top 10 skills, talented skills that are highly sought after in industry today. So if we look at importance of project management at the level of individuals, at the level of organizations, whether public or private, and at the level of emerging economies, looking at Africa particularly, looking at Cameroon, the infrastructure industry, for example, is still in its infancy. Even our banking industry is still growing. There are lots of things that would necessitate this growth and speed up this growth. We're hearing of several initiatives across African states talking about Vision 2063 emergence, okay? And for Cameroon, it's Vision 2035. So these are all initiatives because a project is launched within an organization for the purpose of translating that organization from the current state to a future state, delivering value, okay? Delivering value to the organization. And value could be tangible or intangible. And that means that once an organization is embarking on a project, is looking at transforming itself to a better state. And even an individual, when you are embarking on a project, you actually can transform. That means you are transforming yourself to a better state. That is it. So everything that we actually are involved in one way or the other, involves projects and having the best approach and standards and strategy, tools, techniques, methodologies, and all that is required for you to run your project. Somebody with 50 million can build a house that is far better in quality than somebody who built the same house with 200 million, who doesn't know project management. That is very true because there is what we call quality, the understanding of quality as far as projects are concerned, understanding how to manage schedules, how to manage risk, how to manage costs, how to manage. So we've seen a lot of people who built structures over 500 million, collapse them and reconstructed. It is just because maybe from the beginning, they poorly initiated the project. Some projects fail just at their initiation. Even before they are started, they are failed. And once you start a project with a wrong approach, that already is a truncated project. It's going to fail. You only waste resources and then turn up to see that maybe the project will not meet its objectives, or maybe the objectives have long been bypassed by industry competition factors, right? So that is it. That's why the project manager's strategic and business management acumen have to also be very, very honed and sharpened. So here we look at the importance of project management again. Basically, at the organizational level, project management helps you, or effective project management helps individuals and groups and organizations to meet business objectives, satisfy stakeholders' expectations, be more predictable, increase chances of success, deliver the right products at the right time, resolve problems and issues, respond to risk in a timely manner, optimize the use of organizational resources effectively, and identify, recover, and terminate failing projects. Some projects just have to be terminated, okay? Not that you have to keep pumping money just because you have spent. At times, they want to do what we call cost-benefit analysis and do projections to see exactly whether they'll be able to continue, if you continue with these projects, and what will be the estimated costs, estimate at completion, what will be the budget at completion. All of those things, they do all of those calculations in project management. And that is what makes decision making very easy, decision transparency very easy, and decision attainment. So the buy-in of management, the buy-in of senior management on projects is based on how well the project manager is able to deliver decision-making objectives about the project on a timely manner. Yeah, so that the organization can, the stakeholders can decide whether the project should go, should be terminated, or whatever. All right, so manage constraints like scope, quality, schedule, cost, resources. Balance the influence of constraints on the project and manage change in a better manner. So that is it. Poorly managed projects or the absence of project management may result in missed deadlines. It's very common. Cost overruns, very common. Poor quality, that is it. Rework, of course. Uncontrolled expansion of the project. That's what they call scope creep. Loss of reputation for the organization, unsatisfied stakeholders, failure to achieve objectives for which project was undertaken. These are the common challenges that we face in industry, and looking at industry trends, we see projections have been made to see that project management related roles will rise in the next decade, astronomically, and we're going to have individuals who are certified to fit into these roles. Governments are looking around for certified professionals. Even international organizations or multinationals, when they operate here, their basic recruitment strategy is meeting international certification objectives within your profile. So that is it. And if we look what is facing in industry today, we know there is a high cost of low performance. And PMI has done substantial research to give us credible information on how you should be able to plan your career, having informed, you have proper information from industry and be able to know which certification stands relevant. In the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 years, it is now to prepare for that and equip yourself. All right, so at this point, I would say I give a small pause and maybe a question and answer could clarify further. We do have so much to present, but it's always important to listen to you, and maybe further we would be able to serve you through specialized orientation. Okay, may I hear from any person with a concern, maybe a question? Okay, I have a question here. Would you recommend PMP to someone who only studies finance, audit, and accounting? I have a master on finance and accounting, and I'm actually the head of internal audit department of an insurance company. Thanks for feedback. Okay, fine. PMP is for everybody. I want to just quote for you an example, okay? I just told you how projects are ubiquitous. Projects are the bedrock of the organization today, the lifeblood of organizations. Actually, without projects, organizations will not meet their objectives or goals. Now, projects are about delivering value. And when you are tasked in your organization with a project, or when a project is enacted, definitely they'll be looking for qualified individuals. Cross-functional teams will be set up from the different departments. And if you meet PMP certification qualifications to lead a project, definitely you stand bigger chances beyond just being a functional, fulfilling a functional role. Most of the roles in industry today, they are dynamic. They are no longer static as described by our job peculiarities or job functions, like say finance, operations, management. No, the industry has changed, so shifted so fast, such that now it's about strategy. That is the key. The driving force is strategy, innovation. And so when projects are concerned, they are about innovation. They are about strategy. They are about innovation. They are about to produce things that have never been, results and competition. Those are the forces that push organizations to know why they must invest in project management and setting up standardized project management practices that will mature the organization. For example, the former PMI president of that's Project Management Institute USA, the former president who gave rise to the new president that came in October last year. He was CPA certified and PMP certified. Those are the two certifications that he had. And you can imagine the global scale of projects that somebody as a PMI president was handling. He could perform a whole lot of audit projects. He could perform a whole lot of administrative board projects, global projects, and so many initiatives. So to not limit yourself, your department doesn't really, or your functional knowledge doesn't actually limit you. In fact, it's a plus for you to pick PMP and put on it, because it will help you to translate projects effectively. All right, so that is quite important. I think getting a PMP just creams you up to a better standard. Any other question? All right, so please, if you like to contribute, you can actually unmute your mic, or we are closing now because we'll be handling over to the French in a few minutes. All right, so we have Galazi A2 core. Who is that, please? Because he's not audio enabled. He probably has not been following. Well, we can still send you the recording if you wish to have that again. And then we have Jean Fabrice. He is muted. He seems muted throughout, so probably he may not know. So let me ask him to unmute. Probably may not have heard anything. Okay, good. He's unmuted. Perfect. All right. So, Mr. Jean Fabrice, did you get anything?
Yes. You correctly answered to my concern, and I'm satisfied because before getting to that certificate, I was wondering if, based on my own experience, it could be important for me to get that certificate.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. All right, so our training philosophy is very, very good. I think with more than 15 years, we have trained a lot of professionals who are working in different industries in Cameroon. And our training is built on 3 objectives and outcomes. We want to see that not only should you get certified, an individual coming to us will master and become a project management professional. That means you are able to lead projects. You know what it takes to apply your knowledge hands-on and bring projects from start to end. That is a capability that is required, because project management is not an academic stuff. It's not something that we want to just know. We want to be able to perform. When you are given a project of $200 million or $200 billion, I mean, you will not be confused. You definitely will understand the complexity, know how to navigate complexities, and know exactly how to shape project requirements effectively and deliver the outputs. So that is it. And you'll be able to lead cross-functional teams, whether geographically displaced all over the world or collocated in what area or other. You know the team dynamics, the team skills, the team techniques that you need to put in place. So our training is to enable our candidates become project management competent, and you should be a project manager by definition. We see that a lot of people fail the exam, and I have one thing to tell them. If somebody failed the PMP, definitely I say, well, it means the PMP exam, or rather you are not a project manager, because if you're a project manager, the PMP is designed for project managers. And once you can succeed from the PMP exam through training, it means that it speaks a lot, okay? So now the second objective in our training is to ensure that individuals not only master project management, be able to perform as project managers, but they should understand the value of project management and know how to navigate the corporate ladder and deliver value to themselves and to their organizations. They should be able to chart opportunities, and through networking and collaboration and so many opportunities that are available in the world today to become either entrepreneurial or really innovative driven. That is it. So we train to see how we are exposed to different shades of emerging opportunities. Okay, so there is, with project management, you have a spectrum of opportunities. I wouldn't see anybody that will be project management certified and be jobless. Apparently, no, except you don't know how to apply your project management effectively. So that is the second objective. The third objective is really geared towards getting our candidates certified at once. When we train you, we give you a guarantee that you can certify, you can sit for the exam once. Most people go and spend a lot of dollars, countless hundreds of dollars over and over to sit the PMP exam. It becomes like a burden. So we lessen the burden, we simplify that through different approaches that we put in place. Our training instructional delivery methodology gives you hands-on preparation with workshops, facilitation workshops, question and answers, and we have several standard simulation exams that can actually open you very fast towards obtaining your PMP and meeting your goals. All right, so basically that is it. We do train and we have classes 3 times a week. Some are online, totally, some are online for those who are far off. And then some are also face-to-face, okay? Some assume a blended face-to-face and online approach for those who are working. All right, so that is it. And if you like to study on asynchronously, that means you can study at your pace. We just provide you all the recordings, the videos, the slides, all that you need, plus assessment, tutorials, everything that you need to be able to certify. And well, you should understand that the current PMP exam will end by December this year. So if anybody is aiming to get certified, training begins now so that you should have ample time to prepare and get through the certification.
Okay. Okay, so we have a question here. He says from Yosa Michel.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's asking which of those certificates is best suited for entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur. Good. Like we've emphasized the PMP. Starting with the PMP, you would be able to have multiple dimensional capabilities, okay, to initiate projects, to initiate your initiatives, and be able to balance your scale of management to deliver results. You'll be able to balance the constraints of a project. So PMP is very important. I would recommend you start with the PMP. You can add 2 others. You see that, like business analysis. So PMP, business analysis, and SCRUM, very important. SCRUM for executives or CEOs. PMP, SCRUM Master, and PBA. I recommend that very highly. We have that package. You will never make any errors as far as delivering value and making sure your teams are effective. So that is it. And we have a bundle for a certification bundle that we offer, which is also very good for those who like to work in organizations at leading positions, create project plans effectively, and design project dynamic reports with data analysis, visualization, and all of that. All that is in what we call the PMP certification bundle. So you have that at a very reduced cost, 650,000, discounted from 1 million something, having 4 certifications at once. So that's quite good for those who like to take the certification bundle. That means you are fully rounded. Normally, when employers are looking for candidates, that some 10 candidates can stand in front of you with PMP, and you will definitely select the one that has PMP plus some extra certification or some extra things. So that is it. So that bundle is quite good. Then for those that would just like the PMP certification, good. Minimal cost 200, less than 200,000 francs, 195,000 plus 35,000 registration. Good. You take the PMP certification 1 month, accelerated. That is for people who are already managing projects and they want just a crash course towards certification. That's quite good. Then stage 2 or path 2 is for those who want to have a deep industry practice with project management, understanding the different dimensions, and go far to acquiring even knowledge on SCRUM and AGILE, okay? So that combination of PMP plus AGILE, we give it at 325,000. So with that, you come out fully qualified for anything you want to do. Okay, we are here in Douala at the British Language Institute building at Aqua, opposite Canada. In Yaoundé, we are opposite the Ministry of Communication at Standard Chartered Bank building. And we are also online. We have some other centers, Douala, Amia, Boya, and Bamenda, but based on the need, charter training, okay? We have center in Douala, Yaoundé, prominently. Okay, thank you very much for tuning on to this webinar. It's been an interactive session. I really appreciate your participation and your views, and I'm sure you would turn up for us to have the next phase of discussion leading to certifications. Thanks again. We have Mr. Jean Fabrice. I hope we have your names on the database. Please, if your name is not on our database, kindly drop your number so we can be able to pick that and collaborate with you any further. Then Mr.
Okay.
Alain Wilfried. And in case you need the recordings and some other information, we can post it through your email or your WhatsApp.
Okay, I will do that.
All right. Thank you
Just
very
right
much.
now.
Have a great day.
Thank you too,
Okay,
sir.
thank
God bless
you.
you.